All right. Good morning, everybody. Today is December 9th, 2025. Current time is 11:31 a.m., and we will call this Selection Advisory Committee meeting. Let's see. So today, to order, correct. Yeah. So today, the Selection Advisory Committee is meeting to discuss the qualification sets that were received for RFQ 26-02-AD. That project is entitled Fort Myers Beach Engineering and Architectural Services Bay Oaks Community Pool Rehabilitation Project. Just to give a little background on the RFQ document itself, that request for qualifications was advertised on Demand Star on Friday, October 17, 2025. Those qualification responses were due Tuesday, November 18, 2025. And as of that time, the town received one set of qualifications, and that was received by Opulent Outlines LLC. And since our qualification opening, the qualification set that was received was given to the Selection Advisory Committee to conduct their individual rankings. And as of that time, we have received those individual evaluations from each of the committee members. And so we will go through those and just announce those for the record. And just also to give a little background on the scope of the project is for the Bay Oaks Community Pool, which was severely damaged due to Hurricane Ian. And the town did issue that RFQ to solicit qualifications for engineering firms for engineering, design, permitting, and construction services. And as a reminder, this project is funded in part or in whole by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, Community Development Block Grant, Disaster Recovery, CDBG-DR grant. So with that, we will announce that the rankings from each of our committee members. And actually, before we do that, let's have everyone introduce themselves just for the record.
Jeff Huggy, Community Services Director.
Frankie Kropacek, Community Development Director.
Tracy Kohler, Deputy Town Manager.
Perfect. And again, I'm Jason Freeman, the Deputy Clerk for the Town of Fort Myers Beach. So with our individual rankings for Opulent Outlines LLC, we had Tracy come in at 60, we had Jeff come in at 90, and Frankie come in at 90, for a total combined score of 240 out of 300. So with that, if the committee chooses to do so, the next step would be to conduct a public discussion/interview. So I will defer to you all on if you would like to proceed with that.
Yeah, my vote is to proceed with them at a later date, maybe even before the Christmas break or the holiday break that we have, to get this thing going.
I concur with that.
I would like to proceed and learn more.
Perfect. Okay, so next up, then the town will hold a public meeting to discuss and interview Opulent Outlines LLC, just to ensure that they meet all the town's requirements and to make sure that the Selection Advisory Committee believes that they are a qualified firm, to potentially make a recommendation then to our town manager and then potentially to the town council for approval. So with that, I did want to just put out there potentially a format for these interviews, discussions. Typically in the past, if it helps, we've done anywhere from about 15 to 30-minute interviews. Committee members have come up with some questions, usually 3 to 5 questions, in situations where we would just recommend that you ask the same questions to all the firms. In this case, it's a little bit different just because it is at one individual firm. So we would ask that the committee members do come up with some questions just in preparation for that interview. And then we did want to ask the question, would you all prefer the firm to create like a formal PowerPoint presentation or just conduct discussions? It's entirely up to you all, so I will defer to you all.
I always prefer presentations so there's something tangible that I can look at and reflect upon during the discussion time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, their scope that they sent in was pretty detailed, but a presentation wouldn't hurt.
I agree. I think a little bit more explanation of what they were proposing.
Perfect.
I think that would help me with my scoring aspects to understand and learn more.
Perfect. So with that, I will pose that we conduct or we schedule for, let's say, a 30-minute interview, public discussion meeting as soon as possible, hopefully before the holiday break. But if not, then we will do that right after the new year. With the committee's consent, then if committee members could prepare 3 to 5 questions each individually just to ask those firms, and then we will make sure to note to request from the firm a presentation in preparation for that as well. So if I can just get a motion to accept all that, and then we can move forward.
I move to accept all the recommendations that you've made, Jason.
Perfect. Second.
I will second.
Perfect. And then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. All right. So then, as we said with the next steps, then we'll work on scheduling this meeting. We'll post the meeting notice on Demand Star for when that discussion will come. We'll try and schedule it, like I said, in the next week or two. If not, it'll just be right after the new year. And with that, I'll open it up to the committee if anybody has any other comments before we adjourn.
None.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for your time. And then we will, that next Selection Advisory Committee meeting with those discussions will be noticed as soon as possible. And with that, the time is 11:37 a.m., and we are adjourned.